Welcome back to Zakima's Ridge Homestead. I should be at work right now, but unfortunately I've had my first problem with the F350 7.3 diesel. Went to leave for work yesterday morning, and as I started down the driveway, it started running very rough and had no power. I was able to back it back up the hill, and I took Paula's vehicle to work. This morning I went to look at it. It was running rough for a while. Really couldn't determine anything for sure. I checked some codes and so forth, and it had some injector codes. It had just some random odd codes, and then it started running fine. So while it was running good, I was able to get it back here in the garage and started tearing it apart, and I found a few things that we're going to fix today, and hopefully it will cure my issues. So let's take a look at what's going on. Hello and welcome to our channel. We're glad you're here. Okay, I have the driver's side valve cover removed. In order to do that, I had to take the battery and air cleaner out, and the breather section that goes down to the turbo with the little air hose there, and the intercooler line that goes from the turbo down to the intercooler underneath here. Similar to what we had to do for the power steering pump. Then I removed the valve cover, and what I've found so far, this is the plug that goes for the injector harness that plugs into the valve cover. You can see the black end on it right here. That is the number 8 glow plug connection, and it is burnt up. Both the number 8 and number 7, or number 6, pardon me, yeah, 8 and 6 are burnt up, so that could explain some of the smoke I get when I start it when it's cold out, because I don't think these two glow plugs are working. They're burnt up here. In the valve cover, you have your harness that goes inside the valve cover that goes to your injectors and your glow plugs. And if you can see there, this is the number 8 and number 7 glow plug. They're kind of burnt up in here as well. And the valve cover gasket itself, that number 8 pin is completely burnt off. So I've decided to put new valve cover gaskets on it. The ones I bought come with the new harness, and also a replacement harness for on the truck side. They're Dorman's. I'm not thrilled about that. Dorman products tend to be okay, but not the greatest, so I'm hoping I don't have any issues with them. One other problem I've noticed while I was in here, this is my IPC sensor, the injector pressure sensor. As you can see, it is covered in oil on the plug and the top of the sensor. It doesn't really show that it's bad, but the only way that oil can be on there would be is if that sensor is leaking internally. So I went ahead and got a new one of those. I think it was 160 bucks, so I hope it's worth my while changing it. And another problem that we found in disassembling this was the harness that goes from the truck to the engine that plugs into that square box there that sits on top of the valve cover. On the bottom side of it here, if I can find them, there's a couple wires here that had rubbed through. I'm not sure if you can make that out or not. This green wire is bare. It was laying against the valve cover, and this orange wire underneath has got some wear on it. I'm not sure if it's bare or not, but it's possible that this wire was grounding out on the valve cover gasket. So I need to repair this and replace the valve cover gasket and that harness, and then we'll tear the other side apart and take a look over there. Now, this is the replacement valve cover gasket I bought. It's the same hard plastic with the silicone on both sides, but their style, the internal harness does not unplug like it does on the factory harness. So I'm hoping that doesn't cause an issue, but at least I don't have to worry about this internal connection going bad. And then they also supply this external pigtail, so all I have to do is cut all my other wires off the original one, and I'm going to solder and shrink wrap all these other connections in. They're a totally different wire color. The instructions come with a chart. I don't know why they just don't use the same colors, but that's what I need to do, is cut this one off the truck and solder this one in its place. Now I've got the valve cover back on and did the wiring repair on this top plug. It was just, like I said, you match the wire color to what they have on the chart. Got those soldered together, shrink wrapped, taped up. It's kind of hard to not get too much wire because it's to cut it the right length, it'd be too short to work with. So you have to end up with this little extra loop in here. It should be okay though. It seems pretty relaxed the way it's laying. Got these cleaned up a little bit on this wiring harness, and as you can see, this brown with the black tracer wire is worn through, and this green with the red tracer wire is worn through. There's another brown wire here that's got a mark on it. I can't tell if it's rubbing or if it might be slightly burnt. Maybe this one right here, the brown one may have been arcing and burnt this one as well. And this brown wire's got a tiny mark on it. So I'll just do a tape repair on these two wires so that those aren't exposed anymore. Clean this harness up a little bit, and then I'll do a trick that Diesel Tech Ron had on his site, where you take a piece of 3/4 heater hose and slit it and stick it over this section and tape it so that the heater hose is laying on the valve cover rather than these wires. And you can actually see here on the valve cover, this spot right here, that is a clean metal spot where definitely one of those wires was rubbing and probably arcing. Now the harness is all back together. As you can see, we've taped a piece of 3/4 heater hose here so that it's laying on the hose rather than on the wires. Hopefully that'll keep that from ever wearing through again. I've replaced the IPC sensor. I used a contact cleaner to get all the oil off of the old plug. So all that's left to do now is reinstall the breather adapter, the hose that goes back to the turbo, the intercooler hose, and the battery and the air cleaner on this side, and then we can move back to the other side. Okay, I've got the other side partially disassembled. Again, I had to remove the intercooler tube, which would have went here. I took the, I'm going to call it a map sensor, but I think it's the boost sensor that attaches right here. It's this unit here. I took that up out of the way to make it easier to get in. I did have to take the air conditioning compressor up off the bracket. Didn't have to take the bracket off, but I did have to bring the compressor up out the bracket down here is where the compressor sits. And the hoses in the back of the compressor wouldn't let the valve cover come out. And that's about it. Heater hoses are able to move around. And that gets us down into the injectors. Sorry about the lighting here. And the valve cover gasket. The plug on this one doesn't look burnt, so I don't think I'm going to change this plug on this side, but I am going to change the gasket just to be safe. So we need to pop these little bail clips off of all the injectors. That's the injector harness, and then this white wire going down goes to the glow plugs. So we need to pop these off, pop all these off, and that valve cover gasket will come out of there. Everything's back together on this side. AC compressor's back in position. Belt's back on, which I just noticed I need to fix. It's not on there in the grooves correctly. The intercooler tube is back on. That sensor's back in its bracket. It's got the new valve cover gasket on it. And like I said, this side I did not have to splice in that new harness because this one looked to be in pretty good shape. So let me fix that belt and we'll hop inside, fire this thing up, and see if it runs correctly. Yep, let's give it a shot. Wait for our wait to start light to go out. Okay, all the dash lights went out except the 4x4 and the seat belt, which makes sense. better than it was this morning. Well, it runs. I don't know if it's any better or not, because like I said this morning, it did clear up before I brought it in the garage, so it's hard to say if I actually truly fixed the issue or not. We did find those bad wires on that one harness and got those repaired. That could have definitely been causing my issue. And there were some bad wires on the one valve cover gasket, so that could have also been causing an issue. So I'll just have to try it, I guess, and see how it does. If you end up having this kind of a rough running issue and hard to start on your F350 with a 7.3 diesel, hopefully this video might have gave you some guidance of what to look for and how to repair that. Any questions or comments, please put them down below. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.